to another movie Reedview from me, Cody Reed. I'm sporting a beard, kind of, a dark 5 o'clock shadow for this one because it's Thanksgiving weekend, so you know, whatever, America. This one is for Penguins of Madagascar, which is a spin-off movie from the Madagascar movies. And it's directed by Eric Darnell and Simon Smith, Eric Darnell of which has directed the past 3 Madagascar movies. And so he came back along with Simon Smith to direct the Penguins movie. And this one really follows the penguins that we know from Madagascar, those lovable and funny characters, Skipper, Kowalski, Rico, and Private. And this one really focuses on their story, so it starts when they were young penguins and how they met, and then it moves on to some of the adventures that they've gone through as they try to plan some of these heists, and basically thinking that they're action stars, as we know from the other movies. Now, from the Madagascar movies, you had the main characters, those animals, and then you had penguins as the side characters. So this movie brings those side characters and brings them to the front. And overall, I think they did a pretty good job, but I still think that maybe it could have been handled a little bit better. There were a lot more jokes that I were expecting, you know, a lot more jokes aimed towards like the older kids and the adults that they would get. You know, you get that a lot in animated movies nowadays, where the kids, they can see like the animals talking, which is fun, but you would have also a lot of jokes aimed towards the adults that they'll get. So there were some of that in Penguins of Madagascar, but not as much as I was expecting. The 4 main penguins, of course, they're great in their roles. They really work well together, and they each have a specific role in the team, except for Private. And so this movie kind of focuses on him a little bit, wanting him to be a member of the team and participate in some way. And so they eventually meet this octopus named Dave, who wants some revenge on them for a certain reason. And to help them along with that, they meet some secret agents, part of the North Wind, which is like a wolf, a polar bear, a snow owl, and a seal. And so they're these secret agents that kind of team up with the penguins to go against this octopus named Dave. And that's really where the story centers around. So instead of focusing on the antics of those animals like the Madagascar movies and them trying to return home or complete this certain task, the movie focuses instead on the penguins kind of going through this spy adventure type thing where they have to you know, go and battle Dave, and you see them as they're like running through the streets of Paris, and it's really silly in some aspects. Some parts still are funny, which I laughed at. I'm just saying that I didn't laugh as much as I thought I would, especially since I do love the penguins from the Madagascar movies. I really expected it to be super funny and to see their, you know, their banter together, which they did have some of that, just not as much. And although this was definitely geared more towards kids, there were some funny moments where they had certain parts happening in the story and they would name certain actors' names, you know, whether it's like Nicolas Cage or Halle Berry, and they use that in context for a certain thing happening in the movie. And so if you do go see this movie, that's something that the adults will really like, as they could hear these actors' names and kind of pick up on these subtle references, and that's something that I really liked in the movie. A lot of times you do have spin-off movies from main movie franchises. The Minions movie is coming out, which spins off from the Despicable Me movies, and actually I'm kind of excited to go see that Minions movie. But Penguins of Madagascar, I don't think it was really a necessary spin-off in my opinion. You know, maybe you could have had Madagascar 4, but tied the penguins in a lot more so you could see them a lot more. I just thought the overall story and the plot was okay. And so, you know, if you're on the fence about this movie, you should go see it if you really loved the penguins in the Madagascar movies. If you really love those penguins and those characters, then, you know, you might enjoy this movie a little bit more just for the nostalgia of it. And also if you have kids, because I'm sure that they'll actually love the movie a lot, you know, just kind of focusing on these talking animals and loving the movie. However, don't go see this movie if you liked animated movies with maybe more emotion or maybe some more adult humor tied into it. I know that usually animated movies are aimed more towards kids, but it's good for everyone to have a good experience, you know. If the kids are enjoying it, but it's not doing anything for you, come on. Or if you weren't really a fan of the Madagascar movies, then, I mean, you probably don't even know these characters, so just probably pass on it too. Overall, though, it was just like an average movie, so I'll give Penguins of Madagascar 2.5 out of 5 stars. It still had some funny moments, but it just wasn't as funny as I thought. Have you seen the Penguins of Madagascar movie? Feel free to leave a comment and tell me what your thoughts on it were. And like this video, please, if you did like it. But make sure to subscribe to my YouTube channel so you can get any other updates on reviews later on. Also, feel free to visit me at Facebook and Twitter at Movie Reedviews for any movie news and other posts that I might make. And lastly, feel free to send me an email at moviereedviews@gmail.com, and I'll answer your questions, maybe talk about them. Thanks so much for watching. Happy viewing.
Oh dear, Pluto, have you seen Goofy? The only goofy things I've seen are the penguins of Madagascar. Oh dear. Well, I, Mickey Mouse, give penguins 4 out of 5 Disneyland tickets.